All right, let's get real for a moment. If you've ever turned on the news and felt like you were watching a horror movie on repeat, well, you're not alone. It seems every headline screams about the latest disaster or the latest villain, and it makes it easy to think that the world is crawling with scary, hate-filled people that just want to jump up from behind a corner and get you. Particularly if you are a woman traveling solo. But hold on a second. Before you start barricading your doors and stocking up on canned goods, let's take a breath and look at the bigger picture. Today I want to tell you a different story. I want you to discover a different reality. One is rich with kindness and compassion and connection. And I'm going to tell you this story about what happened when my motorhome broke down on the road. Now, this is when my husband and I were traveling together. It was a late afternoon on a hot, dry Arizona desert road. Did I say hot? Very hot. My husband, we're going to call him Chicken Little, and I had been driving for about 6 hours, and we were only about 5 miles. My husband and I had been driving for about 6 hours, and we were only a couple of miles away from our evening destination. So we were just crossing a small hill when poof, and the engine quit. And we rolled off to the side of the road and tried to restart the beast, but she wouldn't. We sat there a minute, and then we tried to start it, and she started. So that was great. So we just got up about another 10 feet, and poof, there it went again. So we pulled back over to the side of the road, and we looked at each other. Fuel filter, I said. Engine failure, he said. $50, I said. $3,000, he said. Fuel filter, engine failure. We argued back and forth and back and forth. This went on for some time, and I got tired of it, so I went and laid down in the back. Listen, if he wasn't going to listen to me, he could just fix it himself. His next action was to call road service. But the cell phone was dead. So since we were only a couple of miles out from town, he decided he would hike to the nearest phone in the heat. Did I say how hot it was? It was hot. So we were on the side of the highway. Traffic was light. I let the dog out so she could do her business in the dry grass and cactus there. And I noticed there was a fence. It was kind of broken down, but on the other side of the fence was a service road along the highway. And so I told him, hey, why don't you just climb over this old fence and go down this old road, because there's, less chance of getting hit. It's much safer, and get to town that way, and then you can make your call to road service. And he said, it'd be harder to catch a ride. Stubborn old coot. So things were not going well, and right in the middle of our argument, a car pulled up on the secondary road, and a gentleman got out and crossed the old dusty shoulder and leaned over the fence and said, hey, hello? You broken down? We both turned on him. And we glared and we were in the middle of an argument. Our rig was obviously not working, and it was hot, real hot. Hey, he said, have you checked the fuel filter? I looked at Chicken Little with that look. And Chicken Little was sputtering something. Not making any sense. And the man went on. So he said, hey, my friend had a rig just like this, and he was always having problems with fuel filter. I just couldn't hold it any longer and burst out laughing. And the man looked really confused, and Chicken Little kind of looked grumpy. But the man let us borrow his cell phone anyway, and we called road service, and of course it was the fuel filter. Lesson learned from that day on, we always kept a spare fuel filter in the toolbox, and it came in handy several times. And I believe to this day that that man was really an angel who was sent there to help us. He disappeared after the phone call like magic. Believe it or not, beneath all the doom and gloom, there is a whole lot of kindness simmering away in the background. Think about it. Every day, people are doing nice things for one another, like helping a neighbor with their groceries or giving up their seat on the bus. You know, that stuff that doesn't usually make the headlines because it's not flashy and it's not a crime spree or a celebrity meltdown. And generosity often comes with a side of laughter and unexpected surprises, like my angels. So let me know in the comments below about acts of kindness that you've experienced while traveling, and let's promote more kindness and less fear.